Okay, Fredericton, beautiful, windy, cold. Speaking of cold, this conversation might get colder. Anyway, we'll find out what's going on. What's your name?
Looks like spring, but doesn't feel like spring. Charles, Randy McKeen.
And who are you again? I don't know who you are.
Well, I'm kind of trying to figure that out myself, Charles. I've been a radio guy for 35 years and apparently lost whatever remaining brain cells I have and have decided
you don't have a high fever.
And have decided to throw my hat in the ring for the Liberals for the nomination for the election Mr. Harper has put us into.
Yeah, the wind. Let me turn around here, Randy. The wind behind me. Okay. So, it's a shock. It's a shock when I found out that you were going to run.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people must feel the same way.
I feel the same way. If I had bet, Charles, look at if I had bet, I would have bet against this a year ago and lost everything I had. It all happened very quickly, and I've never been a partisan person at all, and I still don't think I'm a partisan person. That said, I was approached by the Liberals. If I'm truly honest, my core principles are probably closer to the Liberal side than any of the other parties. And the truth of the matter is that I've been telling them what they've been doing wrong for 20 years, and they haven't listened. So, as I tell my kids, you can bitch and moan and complain and tell people what you're doing wrong, or you can try to do something about it. So that's essentially what it is. I, like many others, have become so disillusioned with what passes for political discourse in this country. We have to raise the bar. We simply have to raise the bar, and that's what I hope to do.
But I don't, and you're not the type to follow, that's what bothers me, you're not the type to follow party line.
No, I'm not the type to, and they knew that when they approached me. I mean, certainly I don't have any intention of going in there, but if there's an issue that I feel strongly about, if there's an issue that I feel is a wrong decision made for the wrong reasons, and my caucus colleagues can't convince me that they're right and I'm wrong, I'll certainly let it be known that I don't disagree, and try to bring a conscience to the caucus. I guess, Charles, that's what I'm trying to. I'm not naive enough to think that I would be able to do anything as one person to sort of stop this rapid deceleration that's accelerated over the last 5 years, but really has been going on for the last 10 to 15 years at least. But what I do hope to do is, when there's decision making that I'm involved in, is make sure the decisions are being made for the right reasons, and that is, does this make us a better country? Does this make our people? Does this help our people? As opposed to, does this help or hurt us?
This sounds like a tirade on the bottom line. You missed the bottom line? You haven't done it since, what, 6 months?
Last July.
Pretty damn close.
We're going on a little over 6, probably 7.
I must have drove you crazy. During the election, no bottom line?
Yeah.
Did you get a lot of comments on the street about it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Where's bottom line?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. And I still have people come up to me and ask where the bottom line is. And I do miss that. And certainly I think that, but on the other hand, everybody knows where I stand, and it's all a matter of public record, and I have no intention, Charles, of changing. I'm not going to be a hypocrite.
No.
If I said it, and I believe it, and so it's all out there, so people can say, you said this, and I certainly took my shots at the Liberal Party. I took my shots.
You didn't discriminate.
No, and apparently, at least one party didn't mind that. They know what they're getting with me. And,
yes, I see you if you win the nomination. Yeah. I see you sitting as an independent in a year or less.
Well, you never know, Charles. That's certainly not my intent, but you know me. I don't. As I say, if I believe in my core that something is not right, I will stand up and I will do whatever I can until I'm either convinced that I'm wrong or until I've exhausted all avenues.
What's your fellow journalist saying? They're upset with you. They're disappointed.
I've been getting a lot of encouragement from virtually everybody, Charles, so far. I'm humbled. I'm surprised a little bit. Of course, nobody's going to come up to me and say to my face, you know, you're...
of course not.
Whatever, so, but there seems to be genuine enthusiasm. There seems to be a recognition that I'm doing it for the right reasons. So, my fellow journalists have been surprised, but so far, you know, they haven't questioned my sanity as much as I have.
What's his name? The guy that went in the Senate. My God.
You're talking to somebody who's become stupid. Or,
yeah, same here. Come on.
Mike
Duffy.
Mike Duffy.
Duffy. Now, I used to respect him, but ever since he went to the Senate, get the hell out of my sight. I'm not interested because I believe in a elected Senate, not a point. If you're appointed, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
So you could be voted in as an MP, as a journalist. You know what? This might not be a bad thing.
Well, as I said,
you have opinion.
It's different.
You're like a blogger. You're a journalist with an opinion, with your bottom line.
I do have an opinion, but in all fairness, Charles, since the bottom line has come off the air, I haven't expressed, and I never did express opinions in my newscasts or in our coverage of news. We've always, you know, the opinion pieces, yes, but again, even in the opinion pieces, I think I was an equal opportunity critic. I certainly didn't simply, you know. What it ended up being was the government of the day usually took, whether it was liberal or conservative, the government of the day usually took the bulk of my wrath, if you will, and that's, you know, that's the circumstances. It's they're the ones that have to do something. So anyway, but back to Mike Duffy just for a minute. I watched Mike Duffy went into the Senate, or came off the air shortly after that whole coalition debacle, but he was on the air with his show for that whole 4-week period when and I could honestly say that when I was watching his program, there was no question that he was taking a decidedly conservative bias. So I guess I wasn't surprised when at the end of the day, I quite frankly think Mike Duffy abused his position as a journalist, knowing that something was coming down the pipe, and that is certainly something that I...
you always are against, and you're against the communication New Brunswick. You've been very, very outspoken on that. That's like the equal to the Senate of journalists. You start investigating bad stories, good stories, then they appoint you to the Senate. I mean, the
I think there's a role for a certain number of communications people. I think in governments everywhere, and in particularly in New Brunswick, there are too many of them. I think that we could do with a lot less, and I think that we should be hearing more from the politicians who we elected, not their communications people.
Yeah. One final note. I said I'll never vote Liberal again, especially in Fredericton with all the snobs. What am I going to do here? I go by the man.
Listen, you go behind that curtain, Charles, and you do whatever you think is right. That's what I would say that you do.
Good luck.
Thank you, my friend.
That's not right. Well, I'm sure we will talk during the election.
You know where I am. So.
No problem.